That was Secretary of State Marco Rubio. He got a standing ovation at the Munich Security Conference. He's continuing to win praise worldwide. An elegant, inspiring speech about building a new Western century with stronger U.S.-European ties that would end liberal policies viewed as responsible for Europe's post-war decline. Look who's here, the host of the Benny Show podcast. He's host Benny Johnson. Benny, we're so excited to have you on the show. Thanks for taking your time. The time to be with us. What was your reaction when you heard the Secretary's speech? There's a lot of talk about a gap with Europe. Did the Secretary close it?
Oh, what a weekend. You had the Daytona 500. Gentlemen, start your engines. And this is MAGA foreign policy, Liz. Thank you for having me on. It has been a revving of the Trump doctrine throughout the world. And this was the magnum opus. Marco Rubio declaring not only that we are not going to be ashamed of our heritage, we're going to embrace Christendom and the great ethos that brought us to this moment. We're going to reach for the stars. This very much was JFK-esque. This very much was Reagan-esque. This was a time for choosing for our era. And when was the last time that you heard a bunch of globalist European libs stand up and applaud MAGA foreign policy? It was a breath of fresh air straight from Pax Americana. It was a revitalization of who we are as an American people. And most importantly, this was a moment where you got to see what the vision is for the Trump administration moving forward. A remarkable time and something that obviously is getting an enormous amount of praise. You've never seen a Secretary of State speech go so viral. It was all over the internet with round and total praise. We're very, very proud of our Secretary of State.
Yeah, you're right, Benny. We can't remember the last time anybody from the Trump administration got a standing ovation in Europe. But, you know, it's interesting, Benny. The news now, the headlines are it's about how far-left Congresswoman squad member Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she cut back her public schedule and her media schedule, major stumbles making headlines. You know, Benny, the question is, why do these Democrats like AOC fly to a security conference in Munich if they don't know U.S. foreign policy? Watch AOC botch this basic question on defending the self-governing island of Taiwan if China invaded. And then you're going to hear a baffling word salad answer, too. Listen to this. Watch.
Would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
You know, I think that this is such a, you know, I think that this is a, this is, of course, a very long-standing policy of the United States. And I think what we are hoping for is that we want to make sure that we never get to that point. So I think what we are seeking is a return to a rules-based order that eliminates the hypocrisies around when too often in the West we look the other way for inconvenient populations to act out these paradoxes.
Benny, we're not overstating it when people say that needed subtitles and captions. Nobody knew what she was talking about. AOC also claimed Venezuela is below the equator. It's above the equator. I mean, why go on the world stage if you're not ready to talk about foundational central foreign policy out of the U.S.? I mean, President Trump, President Biden have repeatedly stated that U.S. forces would defend Taiwan against any unprecedented attack. They're committed to helping Taiwan maintain sufficient self-defense capabilities, but AOC in over her skis, not knowing it. Why is she going on the world stage thinking she can audition for the White House?
To quote Billy Madison, everyone in this room is now dumber because of that answer. Thank you, AOC. There is no foreign policy for the left. This is what is a remarkable moment that we saw this weekend, that Hillary Clinton, we talked about former secretaries of state, Hillary Clinton was out saying that open borders policies have gone too far, that we need to reverse course. Barack Obama was saying the same thing. When Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton are starting to take a page out of Donald Trump speeches, you got yourself a massive problem on the left. And AOC just sort of demonstrates how shallow and vapid their thought process is. It really is a return to retreating, to apologizing for who we are as a people. It doesn't inspire, it doesn't uplift. Marco Rubio said in his statement is so profound and beautiful that men don't go to war and die for ideas or for pretty hallmark words. They die for their families, their nation, their people, their religion, where we come from. And AOC is just reminding us of these policies of old, as did Hillary Clinton in her speech. And so it's real. And Gavin Newsom, of course, has crashed and burned. They have nothing else to offer. They have just the same thing to offer. And we've seen the results, and they're very, very ugly.
Benny, the Democrats are not inspiring. They sound like, elementary school hallway monitors. So stay on Hillary Clinton talking about now, as the midterm approaches, open borders are destructive. This is after men, women, children, seniors have been raped, killed, murdered, robbed, assaulted from Biden's open borders. Is this Hillary Clinton again being opportunistic and cynical to get Democrat votes for the Democrats, more votes for the midterms? Because the voters out there, 6 out of 10 saying the party is way too liberal. Why is she all of a sudden saying open borders are bad? Biden opened the borders.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, they don't actually believe any of this. They're the ones who brought us open borders. That's clearly the party that is completely and totally architected around open borders and the criminal aliens voting for them in elections, providing them goodies on the national dole. The entire Democrat Party is a party of criminal aliens. They're saying this because they've been exposed. And more importantly, if they actually believed it, they'd be behind the SAVE Act. If they believed what they're saying here, they would get 100%, Liz, in support of the SAVE Act. They'd say, this all needs to pass. Every Democrat needs to pass this. And they'd be in favor of mass deportations. They'd support ICE. They'd be out in the streets with Kristi Noem and Tom Homan. But they don't do that. They don't actually believe it. They want America swamped by third world criminal migrants because it gives them power.
Got it. Benny Johnson, come back. We love having you on. It's always good to see you, Benny. Thanks for being with us tonight. It's good to